First scale that I will be playing for you is my A scale. The tricky part about that is going from second all the way down to seventh for that B natural, because it's not going to be fingered like on first position like it would be for B flat. And I just was keeping a steady, equal amount of air during it. For my beginners that were just starting to learn their scales and things like that, this has 3 sharps in it, so I would probably have them do it in whole notes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'd have them breathe after every 2 measures. Okay, so the second one that I am going to be playing for you is my B flat scale. So I felt like I did the wrong position, but I should have done an A when I did an A flat, but so I'll redo it for you. This would be the first scale that I would want my trombones to learn individually. Now moving on to one of my tunes. First one that I'm going to be playing for you is Hot Cross Buns. That was actually kind of weird because it was really, really airy. Maybe I should have moved my slide down a little more, which is one problem that I have with trombones, and making sure that I have like the accurate. Oh, no wonder I was wrong. It starts on a D, which is 4th position. I'm going to redo that for you. So, 1, 2, 3. That goes back to long tones and having your kid just do those for about 15 minutes every day. And also I should have done better about my breath marks, so I would just make sure that like my students know to breathe when they see a breath mark, and if they didn't know what that was, I would point out to them what that marking means in their music. Next, I'm going to be playing En clair de la lune. I'm going to be making sure that my air is good and it stays supporting. I'm going to make sure that my posture is up straight so that I don't want to slunch or anything like that, especially since my stand is at the correct height. So, 1, 2, 3. So that was better. I messed up on getting on the D and the C at first because I tried to play the D in 5th position when it's in 4th position. But it got better when I realized what my mistake was, and I would have my students just listen out for themselves. It's like if you don't sound the same as like the person beside you, then adjust to what you're listening to. And I would make sure that I would be walking around to make sure that I could hear like the differences in their sound, to make sure that they were doing the right slides or the right fingerings for those notes. Okay. For my 3rd song, I'm going to be playing Merrily We Roll Along. So, I'm going to get my first pitch. The repeat actually caught me off at first, and so for my students, I would have them point out all like the markings in their music, and ask them, when do we have breath marks? And I would have them say after me, after 2 and after 6. And what is that over at the end, students? A repeat mark. And what do we do when we see a repeat mark? You go back to the beginning and play it one more time. I also have them empty their spit. So next I'm going to play Lightly Row, and I'm going to be playing the first part to it, A part. And I would point out to them what we have at the end, and it's a fermata. I'm just going to hold it out for 4, and I would tell them the same, to hold it out for 4 and watch me when I cut them off. And I'll also have them notice the breath marks. And for those that are playing the B part, the way that I would split it is I would be like A, B, A, B, A, B. And if anyone didn't feel comfortable playing the A part, or if they were upset because they had to play the B part first, I would just let them know that they're about to play the opposite part, because I would want them to play on both. I want them to play on the A part and the B part. So I'm going to play the B part for you though. Well, A part, my bad. One, two, three. I would also make them know that their jar was on. So 1, 2, 3. So my starting note wasn't that well because I felt like I was playing the wrong interval when I wasn't. So I'm going to play that one more time for you. So 1, 2, 3. So that was better, and if they were to mess up on the first note like I just did, I would have them stop and I would have them restart it so that they can get a good clear sound and have that be their state of, like, I would want them to know that's how you should start every note. For my fourth song, I will be playing Crusaders March, and I'm going to make sure that like I move it musically, and like I'm going to put a few breaks here and there just to add a little bit of flavor to it. So, 1, 2, 3. I try to add a little bit of musicality to it, and I try to like get soft and loud in certain spots. I would mostly like add musicality. Like I would tell my students to play a certain way at certain notes because that's what's trying to naturally happen. Like for trombones, it's a little higher for me, but on the F and the E, like I would have them play those last